I'm Alex, and I work up here at Safari West. Safari West is a 400-acre wildlife park nestled in the hills between Santa Rosa and Calistoga. And our primary thing here is we take people on an African safari. We have about 200 acres of wild space that our vintage power wagons drive people up through, and you see animals like buffalo and rhino and zebra. I'm responsible for, first and foremost, for taking people on safaris and then inspiring the wild in people. So when people come up here, they're having a great time. They're seeing our beautiful tents and our collections of animals, but they don't come up into this half of the park where we've been spending time. This half of the park that's supposed to be left alone and left for wildlife in its true form. In fact, really coming up here is like being on a real safari, because you never know who's around the next corner.
This is from a coyote. When this completely dries, it's going to take on a white color, which tells me, again, it's a meat eater. There's going to be a lot of calcium from the bones, but also that it's been there for quite a while. So this has been pretty fresh. I'd guess this is from maybe a few nights ago. It's been sitting out here in the sun, drying out a little bit, but good clue that we've got a healthy ecosystem, because where there are predators, you've got a healthy ecosystem.
This is an important section of the park that most guests just really don't get to see, and that's quite deliberate, is we want to leave this in peace and quiet. Our safaris benefit the indigenous animals quite a lot, because I think most people don't really understand the wild around them. I think when people think about wildlife, they assume it somehow has to be an exotic other, somewhere else, somewhere out in a jungle or a savanna on the other side of the world, and they forget there's wildlife everywhere, right in your own backyard even. So on our safaris, we can see our African wildlife, but we have this wonderful opportunity to showcase everything Sonoma and Napa County has to offer too.
This lovely mud pan here is the perfect spot to look for wildlife tracks. And we just so happen to have a set of beautiful otter tracks. We've got one here and one here. So we've had an otter come right through here, probably on his way out to our water source out here, the lake. And it happens to be otter pupping season right now. So maybe we've got an otter coming through to have babies, or maybe just passing through to go somewhere else. Either way, we've definitely had an otter here.
The main point of Interest is to instill the spirit of the wild in all of us. The idea that we have wild spaces to go to, wild places to go and reflect, but more importantly, wild spaces for wild animals.